pretty much, he's already guilty, but they wanted him to sign for a deportation. So pretty much send him back to the Dominican Republic.
Would he have to admit guilt?
Yes, pretty much.
So he would be free in the Dominican Republic.
He would have been he would have been deported, kicked out of the United States. But he said, hell no, I didn't do anything wrong. I would never admit to something that I didn't do. So,
y esa ya era una jueza federal, ya estaba yo subí a la corte con la federal.
That was a federal judge.
Y ella me mandó una carga, yo la tengo guardada precisamente, ella me dijo, tu caso está bien porque se ve que ellos no tienen nada en tu contra. Y se quedó tirando el caso y a los 6 meses me dio la decisión y dijo que ella se iba por la decisión de la corte de abajo. Y como que ella me la negó la apelación. Después que me dijo que yo tenía un buen caso, que yo sabía que no tenía nada en mi caso, y me negó la apelación.
The federal judge that took that case, he says that they told him, hey, you have a good case, you know. But when he denied to do the deportation thing, he said, okay, so the other courts, the lower courts have the final word, and then they denied everything, and you know, he was screwed.
So, at what point did you finally realize that, okay, when did you lose confidence in the justice system? Was it after the first appeal you lost, after all 3? When did you start to say, holy crap, something is wrong here?
Después ¿a cuánto tiempo después de cuánta apelación, okay, ya tú estabas empezando a decir, okay, aquí no me voy, aquí me quedo?
Después que yo perdí realmente la última vez de corte, porque, bueno, no, después hice una apelación, unas 440, ¿no? Uno llama, y sometí muchos puntos donde encontré más evidencia, tenía ya, encontré donde el policía dijo que me arrestó, que no hizo un memo ese día, o sea que no escribió nada en el libro de memo ese día.
He found other type of, he always kept on going, trying to, you know, he looked for more, he found more evidence.
So he was never that worried. You're never going to give up. You knew that you were going to fight for your justice no matter what.
Tú sabías que tú nunca te ibas a rendir, tú ibas a...
Sí, desde que yo caí preso, yo le dije a mi mamá que estaba viva con todo eso, que yo nunca me iba a hacer culpable, ni nunca me iba a rendir, porque si yo me hubiera hecho culpable, me soltaban de una vez. Pero yo dije, mamá, yo prefiero morirme en la prisión y yo no voy a ser culpable de algo que nunca hice.
He says, he always talked to his mother, rest in peace, who passed away while he was in prison, and he couldn't see his mother. He always told her that he would never admit of any wrongdoing while being innocent. He would never do that. So he said that I'd rather die in prison before I get out of here saying I actually hurt some people, you know?
I can't speak for everybody, but I know that there's a lot of people out there that if they were charged and convicted and in jail for something that they didn't do, they might lose their minds. They might want to kill themselves. They might want to give it up. A lot of people would say, hey, just give me a deal and I'll be free. Why were you stronger than some of these other people? Because honestly, it's when you have this huge justice system that's against you, and they're saying, hey, look, you can go ahead and be free. What was the difference between saying yes and saying no to those people?
He dice, ¿cómo tú manejaste esta situación sabiendo que esto, sabes, eres inocente, sabes, tú mismo en tu mente, en tu corazón, tú sabes que tú no hiciste lo que te están acusando? Cualquier persona se vuelve loco, cualquier persona dice, oye, me voy a matar.
Esa es una buena pregunta.
¿Cómo no te volviste loco? ¿Qué era tu motivación de quedarte, tú sabes, positivo todo el tiempo?
Dos cosas. Mis 2 hijas, que la amo en mi vida, yo tenía que luchar por mis hijas.
He said the only thing that would keep him, his faith and focusing on trying to fight this case was his 2 daughters.
Y la segunda era que yo no podía volverme loco, porque entonces, si me volvía loco, como yo dije a mi mamá, entonces iba a dejar de luchar por mi libertad. Y yo sabía que era inocente, yo tenía que mantenerme firme y fuerte para poder tener valor para luchar por mi libertad.
So I had to stand my ground and be strong, because if I went crazy, he would have never, fought for his freedom.
So were there people, friends, family members, loved ones that you may have lost or got distant with during this time that thought, oh, just because the government's saying it, were there friends or family members that thought, hey, are you a murderer now? I can't trust you. You know how did that?
Tienes muchos amigos que te dieron la espalda cuando cuando se enteraron que personas, familiares, conocidos, que te dieron la espalda cuando se enteraron que tú tenías estos cargos.
No solo amigos, a mí me celebró la familia y mis amigos.
He said my family and my friends. Everyone believed, you know.
They thought the government was right.
They thought the government was right.
Yo luchando hasta el final mis dos hijas y mis hermanos que están en República Dominicana. Por aquí conmigo se quedaron firmes mis dos hijas.
He said my two daughters were the only
Y un hermano que tengo que conseguí, que es el señor arbitró, que fue el que me iba a salir. Esas tres personas.
And his name's Avi is considers him like a brother. He's the one that helped them, you know, everything he needed to do.
We're gonna definitely talk about Avi because we wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him, and he wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for him. So we're definitely gonna get into that. But let's continue with the story here too. So after the 3 appeals, you're in jail. You're not giving up. What do you do from there?
Pasaste estas apelaciones, perdiste, no te estás rindiendo.
No.
¿Qué fue cuánto tiempo tuviste que seguir esperando? ¿Qué hiciste?
Yo sabía, yo siempre decía, en un instante yo perdí hasta la fe en Dios, no te lo niego, perdí hasta la fe en Dios, pero a veces yo decía, no, pero Dios está en el cielo. Algún día yo sabía que yo iba a probar mi inocencia, yo no podía rendirme, todavía hice el parol, y en el parol me dieron 2 años, a los 25 fue el parol, me dieron 2 años, y yo seguía diciendo que era inocente, y yo estaba dispuesto a morirme aquí en la prisión, y era con tal de no, o sea, yo no me voy a hacer culpable nunca, yo pensaba morir en la prisión, pero
he said when he reached the 25, he's facing life in prison. So at 25 years in prison, they offered him to release him if he say, hey, I'm guilty, and release him on parole. But he said he would never. He was decided to, you know, he decided to, hey, if I'm gonna die in here, then that's what's gonna happen. But I'm not gonna admit to having, you know, attempted murder charges.
And this whole time, you were writing people to try to help, lawyers, but this whole 25 years, you know,
25 años, tú estuviste todo este tiempo escribiéndole a todo el mundo, tratando todo lo que pudieras.
Todo el tiempo. Yo tengo más de 1000 cartas de abogados que me escribían. Yo tengo cartas de todas las universidades de aquí de Estados Unidos que me rechazaban mi caso, que me decían que no podía ayudarme.
Thousands of letters.
Las tengo guardadas, mi hija la tiene guardada otra vez, y me negaban, y yo seguía luchando, hasta que conocí al señor Avigro. Eso fue ya en el 2016 o 17, como en el 16 por ahí, y él me dijo que tenía un amigo que era abogado, que era muy bueno. No soy un amigo, él visitaba ya a los judíos, y yo soy un amigo, y entonces él me dijo que tenía un abogado muy bueno. Yo le conté mi caso, una visita, y él dijo que me iba a ayudar. Me consiguió ese abogado, y después ese abogado consiguieron, él se llama Saki también, un buen abogado, Saki también. Y el Saki también me consiguió después 2 amigos de él, a Emily y a Eo. Y entre ellos 3 y 2 abogados más que trabajan también comenzaron a luchar en mi caso. Ahí comenzaron a aparecer entonces papeles, comenzaron a aparecer.
Once he met Avi and then other attorneys that were all working together from the outside, you know, to legally expose the corruption, pretty much what they did, because they proving his innocence, and there's got to be some type of corruption. If you know what I'm saying, the police failed, the judges failed,
so
everyone
how
failed.
come it took Avi, and because you were writing to people for 25 years, why did all these people and these judges they didn't care about your case? Why?
25 años escribiendo, nadie le importó.
Todo el mundo me decía que no. No, a veces me
Everybody denying it.
Y algunos me trajeron el caso para estudiar y duró un año. Algunos me decían que no, que el caso no tenía mérito. Volvían me cogía otro.
People would pick up his cases. They would wait a year, and then at the end of the year, after a year, they tell him, hey, you know, this is not gonna go anywhere, and they would just, you know, turn them down every single time. Came across these people, they're the ones that really helped them out, though.
So, I don't know if Avi wants to, he should probably join us for this and give his part of the story here, but, like, Avi, how did you get involved in all this, if you want, and, because, like I said, this guy's over here, 4 judges turned him down, then you've got all these, he's writing out to everybody, thousands of letters, nobody will help him. What did you see in there that all these other people did?
I've seen pain. I've seen a lot of pain. When I looked at him, you know, he was close to crying. He's like, you know, I finally got somebody that is sitting here actually taking these 2 or 3 hours, because the visits in New York is 8 hours. So, you know, I actually got somebody that's sitting here all these hours to hear my story.
And how did you first come across him?
There's an organization called securus. It's a Jewish organization that sends packages to Jewish inmates, send money for them to call, even visits, that, you know, the visitors don't even know who the visitors are. You know, they just get visits to, you know, keep the time going. And the guy that I knew there told me about him. Said this guy is to the last point of ending life, meaning that he tried everything in his 25 years to try to get home, and nothing was working. And I said, I need to speak to this guy. You know, like, I felt that I wasn't into this stuff at that time, but I felt that I needed to sit with him to hear you know, to hear what he had to say. And at the time, I worked for, as a legal assistant for Tamir Law Group. So I was able to tell him, you know, I know you haven't done these cases before, but let's try it with this guy.
So it wasn't even necessarily seeing his evidence, it's just you believed him. He came out very believable, yeah.
I felt it, and he sent the papers, and it proved me to be right when the lawyer saw the papers.
And so when the lawyer sees the papers, he's like, okay, this guy's innocent, right?
So you got to get him out as soon as possible. He don't belong in there. We got to work on this immediately.
So what did your lawyer see that all these other people didn't see?
They saw documents that were put away that wasn't even out there on his lineup, where they showed the picture to the witness, which she didn't even know who he was yet, who she was pointing. But they showed the picture to her, and that's how she was able to get the lineup and pick who the exact person was. And along with some shells. There were some shells that they said that when they did the crime, they passed by in a driveway shooting, and they said that it was 2 guns used. In reality, it was only 1 gun, because the other gun got locked on them, so they couldn't shoot the gun. So they know that the bullet never came out. So anyway, they went in there and they tried to tell, you know, give me those cases that are in the ball pens, to try to get their fingerprints on this. They didn't pick them up. They gave the bullets back and said, I'm not picking that up, you know. And these were things that they picked up on that was strange.
So pretty much the police, they were the ones that tampered with evidence.
They set them up.
Because they're showing tampering with the witness. You know, like, ellos te cargaron a ti con tampering con la víctima. Yeah. They're the ones that tampered with the victim.
So here's the thing, too. So just to quickly interrupt, we had our police not doing their job, right? There's good police out there. We thank good police all the time. There's some good police. But these people failed in their job. The judges failed in their job. The lawyer failed in the job. And then on top of that, he's writing, this is a complete travesty for our justice system. And he's writing, but these people are saying he doesn't have any merit. Why were they saying that to him?
I don't know, but I know that the one main organization, which I don't want to mention because I wanted to approach them first in a way that I wanted to see what they do there. And then ask them how they said that this guy don't got merit when he does from the judge.
Because these are nonprofits that do this for a living. They try to help people, and none of these people did until you came along.
Everybody told him that he had no merit. His case, they looked at it, they said investigators, there was no merit on the cases.
I wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. And then it takes you, an ordinary guy with a great heart, who is determined to do something, to not sit here and let injustice occur on his time. And so you find, so take it over from there. You meet this guy. What happens to you guys from there? Because
from there, I made sure I put money on the phone account. So I need to speak to him. I needed him to call and to vent out. He needs to vent. He was stressed out. He will call me if he needed anything. He'll let me know he needed anything, and he's sending communication every day. And because he doesn't speak English, so I was the middleman to the lawyers. He tell me, I tell them, they tell me, I go back to him. So it went like that in these 2 years. You know, going back and forth. We go to visit him.
They said we go Wednesdays, we go Thursdays, we go with all the lawyers, we go to investigators. It was a constant visit for him, legal visits, twice a week, because they knew that this was a big mess up there.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and then we got tight like that, man.
So, now, I hadn't heard too much about the story. We chit-chatted a little bit before we started this interview here briefly, but, so, you get in contact with him. They say, okay, your lawyer looks it over, says, we got to get this guy out. What happens from there?
They put the motions into the federal court. They said they release this man immediately, like tomorrow. If not, there's going to be, you know, basically like consequences, because this man it shows that he, and you guys already knew this from in those times, but you failed to let this guy go. Either you let him go, or you know, we're going to proceed or how the lawyers proceed. And everybody started right back from DAs from his court in Queens, and they started looking at those same documents that everybody else is looking at, and they said they got to get him out. He's got to get out. He can't spend not one more day in the prison.
And so what happens then? You got to get him out.
They came. They brought him into Rikers Island, so it could be, you know, he don't have to be coming from upstate to New York every day. It's a long drive. They put him down there, and he went to see the judge a couple of times, and I think the judge was in there one time, and anyway, they finally let him out October 11th.
But let's go back a little bit, because from what I heard, he had a paper. This paper that you guys have, we should show it to people too before the end of this. He's in there in court, completely exonerated, with a paper that said exonerated.
Yep.
But then what happened?
What happened was that after the judge said he was exonerated, case sealed, he was supposed to walk out of the courtroom like where all the lawyers and everybody walked towards. But
he just spent 20-something years of his life for a crime that he didn't commit, and now the judge, the lawyer, and this piece of paper says, you're innocent. And then what happened? Even
the DA said it right there. They walked him back inside. They said that a captain in the back by the jail cell will take care of his paperwork. But they didn't go in front like everybody else that got exonerated. They walk out the front. They don't even have to go to the back of the jail no more. He went there, and apparently now the captain messed up some type of paperwork. That now they said the excuse was that now his facility at Rikers had to fix the mistake. When I went to Rikers and stood there until like 4 in the morning, they said that now the mistake was upstate New York, where he was originally in prison for, that he had to go back up to fix the situation in order for him to go home. The lawyers they didn't take that too good. They said that he's going to leave out of here, Rikers Island, at this moment. And what they did was they went to the judge again and said, you exonerated and sealed this case, but this guy still sits in prison. And the judge couldn't believe that he's still in prison. He sent another order that said, you get this guy now. They kicked him out of Rikers Island.
And I just want to take 1 second right here to rant for everybody that's out there. First of all, there's people like Tukey Williams, Freeway Ricky Ross, who are really murderers and really drug dealers, and they changed their life around to be an incredible positive influence on generations of people. This is why people like Mr. America do what he does. It's not that Thomas Jefferson said dissent is the highest form of patriotism. It's not because we hate people. It's not because we want to go antagonize people. It's because this man did absolutely nothing wrong. And the people whose job it was to uphold the Constitution systematically failed him for 20-plus years. Almost 30 years. No amount of money could ever be worth that freedom that this person has. We got the statement right here. You can see, motion moves to vacate the judgment, the people of New York against Roberto Acosta Angeles, motion to vacate judgment. And they still put him in jail after that, after they were wrong for 20-something years. It's not that we want to go ahead and antagonize anybody. It's this system only works if citizens are active participants in it. If anybody read the Constitution or the Federalist Papers, this system does not work unless we, the citizens, are actively involved. That's why it took a citizen. These people are this is the real team of superheroes right here. Mr. America, this guy is getting people out of prison. And you got a couple other stories we'll get to in a sec. And just for you to have the strength to deal with that and come out, I mean, people would have went crazy. People could have murdered somebody, and you kept the calm and the strength. So this is why we do what we do, is because if we're not positively and peacefully active in the system, then injustice occurs. The entire part of our system is that we have to work within it. So even if you are convicted of a crime, that doesn't mean you're wrong. Even Jesus wasn't perfect. Gandhi wasn't perfect. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't perfect. But if you're
guilty,
it doesn't mean. But even if you are convicted of a crime, 27 years in jail for something that didn't happen. This happens all the time in the United States. And these people are so thirsty. After he was exonerated from this crime, they said, no, we can't let you go.
Their ego. It's their ego, bro. They still got... Cuando te metieron, cuando te dijeron, ok, que dieron este papel, ya te puedes ir para tu casa y como quiera te aguantaron. ¿Qué tú pensaste?
Pensé ahí.
Diablo, ahora me van a querer joder otra vez.
Exactamente, y mis abogados y los otros van esperándome.
It's funny that when his brother, the officer came out, and the officer said, he's not leaving, you know, the back door of the pictures right here?
Yep.
They say he's not leaving, he's going back to Rikers Island. And the bus, he said, matter of fact, the bus is coming out, you know, the bus is for the correctional. And I happened to scream at him, Angeles. I said, I'm going to Rikers Island, he's going to get you. And he's screaming back, and you can feel the pain. That I'm still here, and I just got exonerated?
And that's crazy. And that's why, again, we do what we do. That's why Mr. America is so important, because for liberty and justice for all, not certain people that went to Yale or Harvard and have rich lawyers and are part of the system. Liberty and justice for all. That's why countless of our forefathers died, countless civil rights leaders died, and this just goes to show, even if you are convicted of something, it doesn't mean it's true. This happens every single day. So instead of saying, I mean, this man's own family and friends rid him off. And they said, oh, you're a murderer, you're a killer. We need to start standing up for one another. We need to start believing in ourselves and our family, because, man, this is something that happens every time. Even if you are convicted of a crime, you can still change your life and be something for the better. This man was convicted for something that he didn't do.
12 counts of horrible, terrible charges. He didn't do it.
This should be a lesson to other people out there judging people that maybe have a criminal record, or maybe they're looked down on in society. We need to be helping these people. And that's why I really respect what Avi is doing here. And hopefully Avi can tell us a little more in a minute or two about what he's doing next. But you finally get out of prison, and what's the first thing on your mind? What do you want to do? I mean, you've been pent up for 20-some-odd years. I would have probably went to, pick up, all the Wu-Tang albums I missed. I would have probably, bought very thin boards and broke them all. What would you want to do?
Saliste de 27 años en prisión. Saliste para la calle. ¿Qué es lo primero que querías hacer?
Cuando salí, realmente, yo salí pacíficamente, o sea, no salí con esta inquietud de hacer, ver mis hijas, es lo que era mi ilusión primero.
He says, when I got out, I was very calm. I wasn't trying to jump into, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do, because there's so much that it's going through his head. But the main thing that he wanted to do was see his daughters.
De abrazarla,